Common Sense Outdoorsman here. How you doing? This is where I've been living for the last 5 months, and quite a beautiful place. Very blessed to live here, and you can see in the background, and this may give you a clue as where I'm at, but that's the back of Pikes Peak. But today we're going to go on a little hike. Sorry for the spinning, but we're going to head this way, back up that way, take a little hike, and talk about some knives. So let's go. All right, guys, so that was just a short hike, actually in my backyard right now. So I'm not that deep out into the wilderness. You will hear cars and probably people's voices and stuff like that. But this is my backyard, and I think I found a decent enough spot. I'm gonna set up real quick, and then we'll show you some Martini knives and talk about them a little bit. Okay, so we'll be back in a flash. Hey guys, I did get set up here, and I have some Martini knives out that I wanted to show you and talk about today. And I think these Martini knives, or any Martini knives, are kind of underrated. There's not too many people doing a lot of videos on these knives. I know there's a few. We All Juggle Knives seems to be a Martini fan, and he's done a few videos. But I think these knives are very underrated, and they really do fill in a lot of different areas, like bushcraft, camp knife, hunting knives, just general all-purpose type knives. And one of the things I really like about them is their weight. They weigh hardly anything. These knives are anywhere from probably 2.5 to 4 ounces in weight, and then even with the sheaths they come with, you're talking, no more than probably 5 or 6 ounce packages. But really wonderful knives, made in Finland. There are a few factory videos of the factories in Finland of how they make their knives. And another thing I really like about them are the big handles. This knife is called the Explorer, and this has an unusually large handle. I like large handles because I don't have, sausage finger hand, and the bigger the knife handle for me, the better it fits and the better grip I can get with my longer fingers. But they make very nice, large, comfortable handles. And the construction of these knives is very well. It is a push tang. They kind of hammer the birchwood handle over it. This is a hardened wood cap, but under that is where it is riveted and then hammered, secured, and then that hardened piece of wood is put on the cap for this particular one. It does have a little finger groove there for comfort, a little bit better control. But look at how thick that birchwood handle is. I love that. Love these handles. And it does have the brass ferrule piece up around the blade. This knife, it's not a huge knife. I do like that shape. It is a nice shape for working with, like Morris Kohansky says. It's got that slow continual curve. Not very thick blades on these, but they're thick enough. All these knives I have here today are their base stainless steel, and they change throughout the years. It used to be the base German stainless steel, and they heat treat them to about 55. So they're fairly durable, and they will hold an edge. They're not going to hold an edge forever, but they do a fine job holding the edge, and you can see it's kind of a Scandi grind with the relief edge. And on this Explorer, you can see, I hope it's coming out on the camera and it's focusing, but you can see the clipped point and the swedge there, and the nice, almost a mirror polish finish. But I love the way that fits in my hand. Great shape for working wood. Hunting knife, yeah. Camp knife, sure. Survival knife, not necessarily a survival knife because of the way it's built. But just a wonderful knife. I got this knife probably maybe 6 or 7 years ago. At the time, I paid $34 for this knife. Now I see them on eBay and Amazon, and they're running about 90 bucks. I don't believe they make these type of Explorers anymore. Nice leather sheath. Does have a plastic insert. It is a dangle. Love dangle sheaths. They're comfortable to wear. And the knife fits very nicely into the sheath. Kind of a nice package. Okay. They also make, Martini makes the Rapala line of knives. You're familiar with all the Rapala fillet knives. This is from their, I think it's their hunting series, and this is the clip point. And again, a very, it's got the hammered riveted finish on a push tang knife. A nice brass ferrule there. Made very well, good tight finish, good thick handle that again is comfortable in my hand. A lot of handle there. Nice clipped point with the swedge. And again, I think all these knives have sort of like a Scandi grind. It's a Scandi grind with a secondary beveled edge. And the basic stainless steel little cut out there on the blades. The fuller. But again, very light knife. Geez, I think this thing can't weigh much more than 3 ounces. Wonderful leather sheath. Nice design on there. This one is not a dangler. It's nice and tight in the sheath. Wonderful package. This is a similar knife. This is their annual design. They make a design every year. They call it their annual. This is an annual from 2016. Comes with a little amulet there made out of reindeer bone on the butt of it. Again, the same build style. Nice big handle. Love that. Little finger groove there. A little bit more traction. Brass piece there. Again, the base stainless steel. Same design as the last one. Same design blade. This is about a 4-inch blade. And this sheath that it comes with is on a dangle also. Very nice. Very nice package. Fits in snugly. This is another Rapala made by Martini, and this is their Skinner model. Everything else is the same on this except for the shape of the blade. They call this their Skinner. It's maybe a little bit more than 4-inch long blade. Same type of edge, grind, about the same thickness as the others. Same build, same style sheath. Nice little package there. And then we're all familiar with their fillet knives and bait knives. This is one of the Rapala bait knives that Martini makes. It's got a molded synthetic handle, little plastic cover on there. Works well for what it is. You've got some descaler on the spine. Basically the same basic grind. All right, guys, I'm going to show you a little bit of what these knives can do. And, you know, you're not always going to have to baton wood, but it is a good, good test of the strength of a knife. And this isn't that big of a piece. This one may be, I don't know, 2 inches in diameter at the most. But first we're going to take the Explorer knife and we're going to see if we can baton this now, and then do some carving, maybe make some feathers or shavings. You're not going to baton anything big with a knife like this, but it certainly can do some batoning. So this is a piece of dead standing aspen, and we're just going to split this in half. I don't think this will be a problem with this knife, and it isn't. And then we'll split it again. Take some pieces off. No problem. Aspen is not a very hard wood, but when it gets dried up here in Colorado, it can get a little stiff. So do a little bit of feathering. Love these big handles. Feathering is no problem for these Martinis. This wood's dry, so it's not the best wood to feather, but at least it gives you a little idea of how well these Martini knives can feather. And now they're falling off the stick, which is fine. So, no problem for that Martini Explorer. Here's another Rapala knife. This was the one I was wearing. I didn't show you this one. This is their Drop Point Hunter. Just a little 3.5-inch blade. Same build as the other ones. Nice little, you can use this for bushcraft and hunting and other things. Again, not a survival knife. Let's see what we can, this is going to be a little bit thicker piece of wood. Let's baton this down with the drop point. See how that goes. No problems. These knives are quite sturdy for their build. Again, I wouldn't abuse them too much, but to make kindling and get fires going, we'll save that piece. It's no problem to baton them down. We'll see how this drop point does. And they've all got the same edge, so they're all gonna feather very nicely. Really feather in big chunks. Very sharp, easy to keep sharp. Just drop them once in a while if you don't damage them. Well, this thing is really biting in. You can see those feathers, no problem there. Again, that was the Rapala drop point. This is the one that I'm wearing. Let's try this annual knife. And again, we'll go to a bit thicker. This one getting up close to 2.5 inches on this one. So we'll baton a little bit thicker piece of wood, see what happens. And as I suspected, not a problem. Not a problem at all. See how the annual knife feathers. This wood's a little bit rotted in there. That's really taking big bites off of it. No problems with the annual knife. Let's try that Skinner, the Rapala Skinner. That blade is a little bit different than the others. There's the Skinner blade. That's how thick it is. Hopefully that's focusing. This time we'll go for the biggest piece of wood. This one's getting a little bit closer to 3 inches. Again, this was dead standing aspen. No problem at all for the Rapala Skinner. See how the Skinner makes some feathers. Pretty smooth, pretty good. Making some nice feathers. Very nice. Check that out. Pretty good. So yeah, Martini knives. Very inexpensive. These Rapala Hunter Series knives, there you can find them anywhere from $25 to $30. So very inexpensive. Very, again, very underrated knives. Great handles, comfortable, lightweight, stainless, durable. Again, they're not your heavy duty knives that you're going to abuse too much. They're not survival style knives. You're not going to pound it into trees and climb trees and, you know, lash into sticks and make spears and all that other stuff. But they are great knives, very sharp. I think that I would definitely highly recommend these kind of knives, and probably going to use these more in the future and do some more videos. So hey, thanks for watching, guys. This is Common Sense Outdoorsman in Colorado, just showing you some Martini knives. Of course, when you make a feather stick, you gotta see if those feathers work. And they do. All right, guys, Common Sense Outdoorsman. See you next time. Bye.